So let's just start talking about our charts here. Just thinking about the weekly time frame, right? We're still inside of the weekly busy, but overall our weekly candle is pretty bearish. So I'm still I'm still expecting some kind of follow through here, down to sell side on this weekly time frame. We look at ES as well. I know we've gotten a reaction, but I do want to see if we're going to start pushing through that, because if we start to look at our other time frames, right, our daily is already looking a little bit bearish. I know we have a little bit of a wick down here, but the daily is already looking bearish. Okay, if we look at the daily on ES, it's looking a little bit bearish. We did come down close to previous day low and did not sweep previous day low. Okay, but we're still looking pretty bearish on this time frame. If we go down to the 4 hour, right? So make sure you're charting out your previous day high, previous day low. It's the first thing you want to chart out on the daily time frame. All right, previous day high, previous day low. We got both of those charted out here. Then I'm going to go down to the 4 hour, and this is where we really start to look bearish, guys. This is where we really start to look bearish. So we are in a 4 hour busy right here, right? We have this 4 hour bullish imbalance, and we have one right here. But if we look at this structure up here, we formed this big 4 hour SIBI, right? That's where we wanted to take our longs to yesterday. We swept these highs on the 4 hour, traded into the SIBI, and then we got a strong rejection off that SIBI. And look at this 4 hour candle right now. Look at that long wick on that 4 hour candle, tapping into the 4 hour bearish order block with a lot of bearish momentum right now. And then we have these lows down here at previous day low. And then just looking further down the charts, if we were going to have a very bearish day today, so we already had unemployment claims come out, which was higher than expected, which means it's negative, right? You don't want more unemployment claims than expected. So we already have some negative news there. And then we have all of these lows down here that I would expect price to come down for next, if we can inverse these 4 hour busies. Okay, so we have those 4 hours. Then we go to the 1 hour time frame. And there's something I want to point out on the 1 hour time frame on both ES and NQ. We had this big SMT divergence at the highs, right? Look how this same high right here, ES did not come up and sweep it right there. So we had this SMT because NQ came up here and did sweep it, right? NQ did sweep it right there and trade into that 4 hour. So we had big SMT divergence on the hourly and the 4 hour, and then we saw this huge sell-off, right? Price just really started to dump. So just looking at the hourly time frame, we're looking at our hourly highs and lows. We got this hourly low right here, right before previous day low. That would be our first target for external sell side. But we do still want to pay attention to our high on the hourly as well. So this is kind of our hourly range right here that we're going to pay attention to. This is our hourly range that we're going to pay attention to. I don't want to see price run up too far today. I would want to see price really start to drop pretty soon after market open, but obviously we have to expect some kind of manipulation. So just looking at the hourly right now, we are looking pretty bearish. Okay, and then we have all of these lows down here inside of that daily busy that price could come target. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at here on the hourly time frame on both NQ and ES. Right, we have all these lows down here on ES as well. Bunch of them right there. So I'm expecting for us to try and come down for those lows. Because also, we're trying to form a little bit of like a power of three here, where we had all this accumulation on the hourly. We got manipulation up, grabbing some buy-side liquidity, trading into a higher time frame imbalance, and then now we're seeing that follow through. So if we can get some continuation to sell side, if we can close below this low here on the hourly, that would give us that full AMD power of three move, and then we would expect continuation and expansion down to sell side, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at on the hourly. Let's go down to the 15-minute time frame and look for our previous session highs and lows, right? So what is this low actually? This low is actually our London low, right? So that could be a very strong target for us for price to come target. Right there is our London low, right here. Right, so formed at 3:45 a.m. Okay, so we got our London low. Let's see, where would our Asia session high be? It looks like it's all the way up here. All right, so Asia high is all the way up here, untapped at 7:45 p.m. And then if we look for London high, looks like it's already been swept here. Looks like it was at 3 a.m. right there. It's already been swept. And then Asia low was all the way down here. Yeah, all the way down here. So that's already been swept as well, right? So the only previous session highs and lows we have left are Asia high and London low here. So what is our more likely drawn liquidity? My expectation would be London low. That would be my more likely drawn liquidity here. Would be our London low. That's what I'm looking at here. That's what I'm paying attention to. London low and previous day low. That's where I want to see us get to. Now, if we're going to see some crazy pump in the market and we're going to come up and, break structure or start showing bullish order flow, bullish momentum, that's when we change our plan and we start looking for longs up to Asia high, previous day high, right? But as of right now, I'm expecting these shorts to step in. I'm expecting these shorts to be in control. Okay, we can even look down at the 5-minute. We can start reading our 5-minute bearish structure. We can start reading our 5-minute structure. We're looking at these imbalances, right? We have this 5-minute SIBI above us right here. 5-minute SIBI right there that we're respecting right now, right under VWAP. But, we also have this 5-minute busy that we're sitting in right now. So we do want to see a continuation at market open. We want to see us really start to drop. Technically, we do have a little bit of a high-low, higher-high displacement of the lows. So this technically is a bearish breaker, actually a bearish unicorn here. So if we look at this right here, lowest down close candle, we technically have a bearish breaker right here. Right, so this would be our bearish breaker. And this fair value gap overlapping would be our unicorn. That would be a bearish unicorn right here. Right? So high-low, higher-high displacement of the lows. Fair value gap overlapping our breaker block. That would be our bearish unicorn. We can use our Fibonacci retracement tool from low to high. And we can look for first standard deviation, second standard deviation, right? So first standard deviation here would be right around these lows. That would be a good target for a first TP right around these lows if we were going to take a short off of that level, right? Second standard deviation is right around London low. And then third is right around previous day low. So that lines up pretty good with what we're expecting here. So we could look to take some shorts pretty soon if we start getting a strong reaction off of this bearish breaker, off of this unicorn. Otherwise, if we're going to see price run right through it, right? If we're going to run right through this level, we might expect a little bit of, manipulation up to buy side before that happens. Good morning, everybody that's just joining up. Just reading through some of your chats. Bum, bum, bum. All right. Good morning, everybody. All right, guys. Well, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I can show you my fib settings right now. Let's look at those settings. That's my fib settings right here. If you want to take a screenshot of that, you can go ahead and take a screenshot. Do I think it's less likely since it's already been used to go lower? I don't think it's less likely, no. I don't think it's less likely. I think it's still a strong level, especially because we saw such a strong bounce off of it already. And it was a pre-market move. So I think that, going into our market open, I don't think it's a less likely for it to be, respected again, because I think this could be a pretty strong level. So we're just going to have to kind of read how price plays off of it. How is price going to play off that level? And if we look right now, we can already see the shorts are starting to bounce off of it. We're already coming down to inverse. We already inversed this 1-minute busy right here. Right? We got that 1-minute busy that was right here. So now we have this inverse. And now we're forming this 1-minute bearish fair value gap right here. So we're already seeing a strong reaction off of it. We're already seeing bearish order flow stepping in. So we might see these shorts step in pretty soon, right around market open. And if not, we're going to come up, we're going to manipulate, we're going to grab some buy side, right? We might come grab this high. We might even come grab this high and manipulate, and before we get that drop. But real quick, I'm going to make sure I am sharing. I need to make sure I have my account connected so you guys can see my entries here. All right. There we go. All right. All right, guys. So we are just about at market open here. Got about 30 seconds here. So let's have a great day. Let's stay disciplined like we do every day. And let's just read price here at market open and see what happens. Pull up ES here. There we go. This PA looks decent right now. It looks decent. We had a pretty big drop last night. I was not trading last night. I wasn't even looking at the charts last night. So I wasn't really paying attention, but it looks decent as of right now. So we have market open. All right, we just traded into that 1 minute SIBI. So let's see if we're going to respect this level or if we're going to come up and manipulate first. We might come up and grab some buy side. Some buy side liquidity here on the 1 minute, like this high. We might come up and grab that high as well. All right, so let's just be patient here. Let's really wait for our setups. No reason to rush. Morning, Juan. I'm doing good, man. How are you? All right, so there's our first manipulation we're looking for. So we already came up and grabbed our first buy side. As expected, right? We expected us to come up and grab some buy side. We might come up and grab this buy side level. Now we're leaving behind a 1 minute swing low, so that's a liquidity level right there. We're going to inverse this level, so we're not paying attention to that one anymore. We just traded back into that unicorn model, into the 5 minute unicorn, after grabbing liquidity. All right, this unicorn right here, look at that bounce right off the unicorn there. Grabbed liquidity, we're getting a strong bounce down to sell side. We already just came back down for that low. So let's see if we're going to get a lot of chop and manipulation here, if we're going to start to see some continuation down the sell side. All right, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more chop because we do have news coming out. Looks like at 9:45 and at 10. Right, so 9:45 a.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Eastern, we do have news coming out. So we could see some chop before we end up seeing some follow through or some actual, good price action, something to be aware of as well. All right, you guys can see the volatility right now, market open. No reason to be involved in this yet. We just got some SMT at the lows. We came down for that low and completely swept it and completely reversed right there, right? So we're just kind of back and forth. We really just got to stay patient here. Really going to have to practice some patience today. All right, so let's see if we're going to come up for this buy side level. We just came up for that next buy side. We have SMT at the highs now. A little bit of SMT here. ES is looking like it's still wanting to move down right now. Let's see what the VIX is looking like over here. Okay, VIX is a little bit bullish, not crazy. Not anything crazy. YM is really bearish here. I would only take a trade before that news if we see something really, really good. If we're seeing a lot of chop and manipulation, I won't take a trade. I'll just stay out until the news comes out. All right, so now we're really pushing into that breaker. We have a lot of divergence at the highs and the lows. Highs and the lows, we see divergence. Right, ES is really wanting to stay down here while NQ is pumping up for buy side. So the next buy side level up here, and the internal is right here. Let's see if price is going to keep running for them. So pretty bullish momentum right now on NQ. Looks like we're trying to run for some buy side liquidity here. We got like a minute and 15 seconds on this 5 minute. So if we see us completely close above this breaker, we might see the longs start to step in a little bit. All right, so it doesn't really matter. We just got to keep staying patient. Got to keep staying patient here. We haven't even traded into any, recent 1 minute fair value gaps yet. We have been inversing a lot. That's some strong bullish order flow here. The VIX is starting to come down a little bit. VIX is starting to come down a little bit. So it looks like these longs are trying to really step in. Looks like we're going to inverse this 5-minute bearish unicorn here. We just took out that next high, so we have more SMT divergence up here. All right, so yeah, we're going to get full inversion of the breaker and the unicorn, so no longer a valid level anymore. Looks like these longs are really trying to step in here. All right, look at that 5-minute candle. Very aggressive, bullish 5-minute candle here. Strong close above that liquidity level. But remember, guys, we're still only 5 minutes into market open. So we got time. We got some time. We can keep waiting. We do have news coming out in 10 minutes. 10 minutes, we have orange folder and red folder. So we might need to wait till that news comes out to take a trade. Might need to wait. ES left behind all of this sell side down here. A lot of sell side on ES left behind. We did get that SMT at the lows. All right, so we'll just have to stay pretty patient. Fine by me, guys. Fine by me. Okay, we finally might come back for a fair value gap here. We still have SMT at the highs. Let's see what kind of reaction we get off this 1-minute busy. All right, we got a few of them. We got a few 1-minute busies. We got this 2-minute down here. We might see price come down and try to rebalance a little bit. So when I see SMT at the highs like that and strong pullback, I'm not going to be looking to jump into a long right here. Not going to be looking to jump into a long yet. Especially now that we have this 1-minute range that we just formed. And if we use our fib, we got to look at that equilibrium of this range. If we look at the equilibrium, right, we'd expect a pullback down to a discount. So we want to see if we're going to come back into that 2-minute busy. ES is really dropping here. ES is really wanting to stay bearish right now. ES is pulling us down. Right, but NQ's fighting pretty hard. NQ is fighting pretty hard right now. Looks like NQ really wants to continue up while ES is really keeping us down. So if, let's say the longs do step in, what would our target be? Right? Our first target would be this high. And our main target would be Asia high, previous day high, right? That's what we'd be expecting us to go to. If the longs are really going to break structure here, form a 5-minute bullish breaker, we'd be looking to target Asia high, previous day high. That's what we'd be looking at. We're still in this 1-minute SIBI up here. 1-minute bearish order block. So I'm just not really liking the divergence right now between ES and NQ. If we saw ES breaking out right now, I would think about maybe longing NQ. I would think about a long, right? But ES looks like it wants to stay short. ES is really trying to keep us down. We have SMT at the highs, so we might start to see NQ come right back down here. Let's check out what the VIX is up to right now. Yeah, so the VIX is starting to pull back as well up to the highs, starting to push a little bit. YM is extremely bearish right now. So pretty much, you know, YM and ES are both looking very bearish, while NQ is staying up here. So that would mean I would expect NQ to start dropping here pretty soon. That would be my expectation. SMT at the highs. YM and ES are very bearish. The VIX is starting to look a little bit more bullish. So I'm starting to expect NQ to try and come down a little bit. So let's see if it does start to come down. All right, ES is all the way at the low, so we're going to see some bullish SMT if ES takes out those lows. So just a lot of divergence here. We're just going to have to stay patient. All right, now we form a swing high up here. So now we got buy side right here. Just paying attention to these little 1 minute ranges. All right, this is our 1 minute range right here. Yeah, if you guys look at YM, all right, we can pull up YM right here so you guys can see it. Look how bearish YM is right now. All right, YM is really dropping here. It's already sweeping lows. Really looks bearish. Same with ES right now. All right, really looks bearish here. But now we're going to see that SMT between all of these indices where ES and YM are taking out lows and Q staying high. So now we have more SMT. So this is just kind of something we're going to have to just wait for that news to come out, sit on the sideline for now. Probably just be patient. My expectation would be these shorts to start stepping in, right? That's what I would want to see happen. That is my bias today. Is still bearish as of right now. But we're really just going to have to wait for this news. All right, it's gonna have a lot of it's going to bring us a lot of volatility, right? When you have an orange folder coming out and then you have a red folder 15 minutes later, we're going to see a lot of volatility here. All right, so we taps into that 2 minute and into a 5 minute actually. We're looking like these longs still are trying to step in. Still trying to step in here. Still haven't broken through that 1 minute SIBI though. But again, this is not price action I'm going to get involved in yet. I will wait for that news to come out, and then if there's a good setup after that news comes out, I'll look for a trade. Yeah, and that's the thing right now, right? YM is extremely bearish. YM is jumping off very hard. ES is all the way at the lows, and NQ is trying to pump. I pay attention more to the 10 minute orb and 15 minute. Those are my favorite. So like if we look at the 10 minute, right, we're breaking out of the 10 minute opening range right now. All right, this is our 10 minute opening range that we're breaking out of. Just say orb right here. All right, so we are starting to break out of that opening range high. Looks like we are trying to go run for Asia high here. But we have news in 2 minutes. We have news coming out in 2 minutes. So when we have SMT at the highs and the lows, we have news coming out. Just not stuff I'm going to be looking to take a trade in right now. Orb is opening range breakout. Opening range breakout. So we look at the first 10 minute candle or the first 15 minute candle. And what I do is I chart out the high and the low. And if you look at that opening range candle, I like to use a 15 minute more. But if you look at the opening range candle, you look at the high and the low. If we see a close above that opening range, right, we're expecting a continuation up. If we see a close below, we're expecting a continuation down. If we see us trade above the opening range and then reverse, we want to see price come down and now take out the opening range low. Right, so you can look at it the 5 minute, the 10 minute, the 15. I pay attention more to the 10 minute and the 15 minute. Hey, there you go. D-shot this. There you go. Hey, as long as your analysis was correct there, that's all that matters, man. Good stuff. All right, news coming out in about 50 seconds, guys. So we're just going to sit on the sideline right now. I won't be taking any entries when this news comes out. Just going to let it do its thing here. Morning, Honest Money. Good morning, Kia. Respect. Respect. That's a good discipline to have. If you're feeling too tired or your mind's not there, just watch. I love it. Hey, what's up, Rulies? Good morning, man. Padres Dodgers coming up this weekend. Should be a fun series. All right, news is coming out. Okay. Okay, I see how it's going to be. Okay, looks like news just came out a little bit red, only by like 0.2 points. 0.2 points. So it did not match previous, and it did not match the forecast. So what does that tell me? Well, we might start to see a drop in price here. Been watching Moneyball, dude. Yeah, really makes you sad for those Oakland A's fans. So Juan, you can either look at news under our news channel. You can either look at news under our news channel that JB updates consistently every day, or you can look at news on forexfactory.com. Yeah, we have red folder news in 15 minutes. Red folder news in 15 minutes. Thank you, Braden, for sending that. Yeah, but JB sends very detailed updates on our news all of the time. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, guys. So still respecting bullish order flow here on NQ. I'm just going to have to keep waiting. Going to have to stay very patient. Now we have our 15-minute orb. All right, so this is our 15-minute orb now. Opening range. Opening range breakout level. So on the 10-minute, we haven't closed above it yet. This is our 10-minute opening range. All right, 10-minute orb right here. This is our 15-minute. So notice how we're starting to reject pretty hard, right? We're starting to reject pretty hard. So if we're going to come down and start pushing below and inversing a 1-minute busy, inversing these 1-minute levels, all right, that's when I start thinking about shorting this market because ES and YM are looking so bearish, right? We're seeing the VIX is now starting to pump pretty aggressively here. So we're starting to see some possible bearish sentiment here. All right, so I would wait for us to start inversing 1-minute levels. Like inversing this 1-minute busy if I was going to see the short step in. And I'd want to take my trade. If I was going to take a trade soon, it would need to be, within the next like 7 minutes before, I don't want to be in a trade about 5 minutes before that news comes out. The reason that I only trade NQ is because I love trading NQ because I am so familiar with NQ. It's almost like me and NQ have known each other our whole life. We have such a good relationship with each other on most days. Yesterday I was pretty pissed at NQ. Didn't like it. Didn't like him. But it's just one of those things where, don't break it or don't break it. Don't fix it if it ain't broken, right? I am so comfortable and so used to trading this market, and I love trading this market, that there's no reason for me to go and trade other markets. Because on a day where, NQ doesn't look good, if it has terrible price action, well, most of the time I'll just stay out of it anyways, and I don't even want to take a trade. I'm not going to go to another market and try to trade on another index, right? I just focus on this one. I keep it simple. I think that's another problem that a lot of people do have, if you're a beginner at least, is you try to trade too many different indices and you can't really get comfortable with them. So unless you are more of an advanced or intermediate trader that's used to trading multiple indices, I definitely recommend sticking to one, really learning everything about it. Exactly, man. I'm loyal. I'm loyal to NQ. Yeah, ES and NQ are very opposite right now. Very opposite. A lot of SMT divergence here. And that's where we're waiting. So we probably won't see a good trade setup until after our 10 a.m. news comes out. We'll see, though. We're just starting to chop a lot here. Hey, man, look but don't touch. Look but don't touch. That's funny. Yeah, I don't have anything against, anybody trading other indices. If you have another index that you like to trade, go for it. Go trade it. Go learn it. If you like it more than NQ, go learn it. Because in reality, if you can trade NQ, you can probably trade pretty much any index. I would say if you can trade NQ, you could probably trade any index. Just because the volatility with NQ is a very high volatility, right? And a lot of other indices do not have the volatility like NQ does. Yeah, I've heard good things about crude. I've heard good things about gold. Never really traded them myself. Never really traded them myself. Just not something that I've really been interested in trading, but I understand if that's something you want to trade. It makes sense. Yeah, exactly, right? You're looking at other indices for correlation. For correlation, 100%. 100%. All right, you can look at the DXY, the dollar index, right? As you want to see that move in opposite of NQ. Same with the VIX. You want to see ES moving in correlation with NQ. So we got 8 minutes now until this news comes out. Looks like we're just going to chop around for a while because we do have red folder, right? Red folder news. Seems like we'll chop around until that comes out. ISM services PMI, and then we have a few yellow folder, right? We have factory orders month over month, and then we have FOMC member Schmid speaking. Schmid. Fed Schmid. I like that name. That's cool. What's up, Schmid? I'll never hear gold and not think of a leprechaun. Whenever I hear gold, I think of a dragon. I think of Shrek. Yeah, well, same thing, Sea Breezy, right? You would expect the same thing with oil. Schmid. When I hear gold, I think of gold. Oh, and smog. True. That's true. Dude, I need to watch The Hobbit. I need to watch that series again. Yeah, I read the book. And I will say the book is better than the movies. I love the book. It's awesome. But the movies are good too. Dude, but if I'm going to watch like Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, I have to have like a whole day set aside of doing absolutely nothing so that I can watch all of those movies. And I don't really have many days that I have set aside where I'm doing absolutely nothing. All right, we got about 6 minutes until news comes out. Oh, Dark Knight, bro. Such a good movie. One of the best movies ever. Oh, nice. Actually, I'm going to be starting to read that as well, AZ Sunshine. That is another book I'm going to start reading. I just got it, but I got the wrong, I think I got the wrong edition. So I might return it and get a new edition. No, you really can't watch just one. You got to keep watching. Oh, the new Joker comes out Friday? Very nice. I'm definitely going to have to go see that. Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know if it matters too much. I think the new edition is just more relatable for these days, I guess, is what I've heard. Just remember, guys, we got about 5 minutes until news comes out. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that to come out, and then we're going to be looking for our trade. So I'm not in a rush to jump into a trade yet until that news comes out. Man, I used to be a Marvel fan, but Marvel lost me. Marvel lost me at what was the movie? Like Endgame, I think, or something. That's when they lost me. I love all of the older Marvel movies, the Iron Man movies, Captain America, like Hulk. I loved all those movies. But to me, I think once Disney took over, that's when everything kind of went to the gutter. All right, these longs are still stepping in, guys. These longs are still stepping in. Look at those longs. They do not want to stop right now. They do not want to stop. So just so much divergence right now between our indices. I don't really like this too much. We are starting to see ES move a little bit. YM is still extremely bearish here. Yeah, pre-news pump, exactly, right? Exactly. Exactly. We just got to stay patient. You guys always hear me say I could not care less about missing out on any move in the market. If it was not a move I was looking to take, I don't care. We just stay out. Does not matter to me. That's how I look at it, at least. Even if these longs really are stepping in, like I still wouldn't have taken these longs here. That's just not an entry that I would have looked to take. Not when news is about to come in. Not when we have so much divergence between our, our correlating markets. That's just not, those aren't entries I'm looking to take. Right? You guys know my rules. I stick to my rules. That's it. I stick to them. Don't get FOMO. Don't get FOMO. Yeah, exactly, right? You just can't, at this level, when we have so much divergence, you just really can't be looking to take a trade there unless you really had conviction that those longs were going to step in. If you had a ton of conviction and you don't care about the red folder news and the volatility coming out, sure, you could have taken them. But that's what I care about. That's what I care about. Running pump and dumps. You guys are about to get flagged right now. Tony Soprano, your account's gonna get flagged. You're gonna have the IRS in here. You're gonna have the Fed in here. Chill. All right, we got 2 minutes until this news comes out right now, guys. 2 minutes. 2 minutos. SEC, more like SEC football. I can't see that. I can't see the GIF. I'm pulling it up. That video is so funny. Fair enough, KT. Honestly, though, if price action is going to suck today, yeah, you might as well just stay out of the market. But I'm hoping it's decent. I'm hoping for some decent price action. Yeah, guys, FFN traders, pretty much every prop firm trader, when the news comes out, you should not really be in a trade that goes against pretty much every prop firm's rules. The SEC won't let me be. Yeah, exactly, right? If we weren't so close to news, these might be moves that we were looking to take. Dude, I always forget that we have Batman. I forgot we have Batman in this chat. Pretty sick. All right, guys, red folder news. We sit on the sideline right now. We sit on the sideline right now. I don't care what happens in this market. I do not trade this. I don't care if we pump 100 points. I do not trade this. Let's see where we closed. We did close inside of this 1 hour SIBI, 100%. 15-minute, we did close above our opening range high. We are in a 15-minute SIBI. We closed above both our 15-minute opening range high and 10-minute opening range high. All right. So we're still looking pretty bullish right now. Green, green, green. So looks like good news here. Looks like some good news. So we already just took out Asia high, right? Remember how I said that was our first target in the longs? And now where is our next target? Previous day high, right? Previous day high would be our next target. So what we need to do is wait for a strong pullback. If there's going to be a strong pullback, right? So that we can actually get involved in this move. What we won't do is chase these longs right now. We will not chase these longs. We haven't taken out Asia high on ES yet. It's all the way up here. All right, that's Asia high on ES. So now we just really got to wait for some pullback. Let's see what the VIX is looking like right now. The VIX is starting to dump. The VIX is starting to dump, and now YM is starting to pump as well. Chasing these longs like it owes me money. You got to send your goons out to do the chasing. You just sit back and relax. You stay patient. You let the goons do the work. So, looks like these longs want to keep going. Right? We never took out previous day low. We have now just turned bullish on our daily candle. Looks like these longs really want to keep stepping in. So now we're going to be trading right back into our 4-hour SIBI right here. Last time we traded into the 4-hour SIBI, we got a strong rejection. So let's see if today is going to be another, range day. There's still a possibility it's a range day with NFP coming out tomorrow. Or if we're going to see a continuation, or we just keep running through these levels, right? So that's the thing, guys. News came out. We're not going to take a trade when news comes out. This would be our only entry so far for the longs. Would have been like here or down here, but we had news coming out right around both of these levels. So not a trade I was going to look to take. We have big SMT at the highs, with ES not taking out Asia high. We did just reject the 4-hour. We just hit the 4-hour and rejected the bottom of the 4-hour. We haven't taken out previous day high yet. We're very close. I would want to see us take out previous day high. Looking this bullish today. But now we wait, because we could very easily, like I said, see a range day, guys. Very easily see a range day. When we have NFP Friday, tomorrow, yesterday was a range day, today could be a range day. So we will find out shortly if we're going to have a range day or if we're going to see a continuation. And if we're going to see a continuation, then we'll have plenty of opportunity to look for some longs, right? Okay, so we still haven't traded into an imbalance. We haven't had enough pullback yet. News only came out 4 minutes ago. We got a 2-minute imbalance below us. So we just keep on waiting. We just keep on waiting. I don't care if this one runs away. We don't have our level to take an entry yet. We do not have a level to take an entry. We're about to take out previous day high. Hourly is looking pretty bullish. So let's see what happens once we do take out previous day high, right? We just took it out. Are we now going to see reversal, or are we going to see continuation? Are we going to see any kind of pullback? We haven't seen any pullback yet for us to be able to take an entry. No pullback. It looks like these longs just want to keep going though. But we still have that higher time frame SMT. NQ or ES has not taken out previous day high yet. It hasn't even taken out Asia high yet. So kind of like yesterday, right? Once we took out the 4-hour high, and once we traded into the 4-hour SIBI yesterday, we saw us come right back down, right? Over here, when we took it out the high, we saw us start to reverse. And we came all the way back down. So let's see if something similar happens, or if we're finally going to see an actual trend day right now. We have to wait for pullback. At the end of the day, that's what we have to wait for. And if we don't get pullback, we don't get a good level, then I just have to sit on the sideline. All right, so we just formed a 1-minute busy right here. So we know we're in the 4-hour, right? I'm going to get rid of this. We know we're in the 4-hour. Let's see if we're going to pull back even into just a 1-minute fair value gap here. I want to see more structure formed though. I want to see some better structure start to form, but we look very bullish right now. The one thing I don't like is our SMT. And we're going to have a pretty wide stop loss, right? Because price is moving pretty big here. But now we got to go look, okay, do we have internal liquidity above us? Not really. It's really just all imbalances, right? Everything over here is pretty much just all imbalances. We've already taken out all of our internal liquidity. So our next liquidity level is not until all the way at that high. And we're not even coming back right now. We're not even coming back at all. So this would be one of those trades, you know, maybe where we're actually targeting, if the longs do step in, we're targeting the 50% of that 4-hour SIBI, right? As a TP level, if we do have a long opportunity. Right? Maybe we're targeting the 50%. Right here. That would be our 50% level. EQ. Which we are almost already at. Yeah, right, exactly. Exactly. Because, yeah, by the time NQ gets to that 50%, that means ES will probably be at yesterday's high, and then we might see us start to drop. Exactly, 100%. But if we don't pull back, then we can't really get involved. We have another 1-minute busy right here. One-minute busy right here. Thank you. We're going with the Halloween theme here. Okay, so we just tapped into that 1 minute. Now we start to wait and see what kind of reaction we get. I would like to see more structure start to build, right? I would like to see us start to build, you know, create some 1-minute bearish for value gaps, but I don't even know if we're going to do that right now. We're already getting a strong bounce off these 1-minute fair value gaps, so I might even start to look for an entry soon. We gotta be a little bit patient. Okay, let's see if we start to pump, or if we're gonna get some more pullback, right? I don't love getting an entry until we form a little bit more structure. I want to see us form a little bit more structure first. But if we start to really pump from here, I will look for an entry. Okay, we're kind of stalling, so I don't like getting an entry while we're stalling. I want to start seeing some momentum stepping in. Let's look at the 5-minute time frame. Right, we're about to form a 5-minute bullish fair value gap right here. So I might even wait for us to form this 5-minute. It's forming in like 20 seconds. Right, so yeah, exactly, Seanquez, right? Kind of want to wait for us to trade into that 5-minute. Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. Right, so the aggressive entry right now would be the longs. You'd be getting to the longs right now. That's the aggressive entry. I'm going to wait and see. Again, we could easily break out from here, right? We could. This might be the breakout, but I want to wait and see if we want to trade back into that 5-minute busy. I want to see if we're going to trade back into this 5-minute busy right here, right? We're starting to do it. We're almost there. We're almost trading back into it. This is why we're waiting, because we're chopping, we're stalling. We just formed a 5-minute busy below. So I'd much rather wait for us to trade down into this level and then see a reaction and get my entry. But if you're trying to be very aggressive, right, you'd be already looking for a long entry, but I wouldn't be looking for it while we're chopping like this. Not while we're stalling. I know these longs look like they're about to break out again. I think they are about to break out again. You can see ES starting to pump here. I just want to wait and see if we're going to get some kind of pullback. Baby, come back. The thing is, because like if we take an entry from here, guys, we will have a terrible stop loss level. Our stop loss will be right at the entry of a 5-minute fair value gap. That is not where I want my stop to be. Right? That's why I don't like taking the entry from here. That's why I like waiting for us to pull back into here. That's just why I like to wait. Because I want to have a good stop loss level. I want to see us react off of a 5-minute bullish fair value gap. ES just took out Asia high. So we'll see if we're going to come back that far. Obviously, we're chopping a lot right now. We just took out previous day high. It makes sense. We're in a 4-hour SIBI. It makes sense that we're chopping. So we just really want to stay patient here and don't want to force an entry. Looks like we're trying to come down for that 5-minute. So I'm just going to keep waiting. And if this one does break out here, oh well, right? Then I just wait for the next entry. I would rather see my A+ setup here than chase the longs and get a terrible entry up here. Okay, so now we tap into it. Now we tap into the 5-minute, into the 1-minute. So this is where we want to start seeing a reaction. This is where we want to start seeing the pump. And this is where now, even if I get an entry up here, I'd be more okay with that now that we've come down and swept some sell side and traded into a 5-minute busy. My buy side target for the day would be all the way up here at 22.66 if we're going to push through the 4-hour. I don't know if we're going to push through the 4-hour though. I just want to see if we're going to push up to the 50% level at the most. But if we start to see the reversal, that's when we start looking for shorts, right? If we're going to see a reversal here, that's when we'd start looking for shorts. So we're really trading into that 5-minute with a lot of bearish momentum. Okay, now the shorts are really stepping in. Shorts are really stepping in. So let's see if we're still going to get a reaction off this 5-minute or if we're going to come down and completely inverse it. If we completely inverse it, that's when I'm really starting to look for shorts. Right? And this is why we wait for our entry. This is why I did not take an aggressive entry here. This is why I did not take an aggressive entry in the longs. There's no reason to take an aggressive entry in the longs when we've already taken out our previous day high and taken out, traded into a 4-hour SIBI. Okay, so looks like we're going to get inversion. This might be our reversal. That's a crazy 1-minute candle right there, guys. Look at that. Look how insane that 1-minute candle is. Yeah, look at that 15-minute candle. That's crazy. So we have this 15-minute busy below. This might be our full-on reversal right here, guys. This might be our reversal. Look at ES. ES is almost at low of day already. It's almost at low of day already. And this is why we don't look to take the aggressive entry at the highs. And we're not given an entry, right? Yeah, another thing, we're not given an entry. So I'm still waiting to see this 5 minute. I want to see this 5 minute completely inverse, because we just bounced hard off of VWAP. So let's see if we get that inversion here. Let's see if we create this nice 1 minute bearish fair value gap. So now I'm starting to think about some shorts here. How did it go back? Oh, I didn't change these colors. Obviously not looking for an aggressive entry here either, guys. Not looking for an aggressive entry here whatsoever. Did we inverse the 5 minute? We didn't inverse that one, but we did inverse this one. That 15 minute candle is crazy. So this is when I start looking for a reversal trade here. Down to these lows, right? But if we're going to start pumping, I'm still not looking to be aggressive. I still need to see some structure. Because with this price action right now, I wouldn't even be surprised if price just ran right through this whole 1 minute SIBI, right? So we got to wait and see what kind of reaction we get off of this level. If we get a nice reaction off this 1 minute SIBI here, I will look to target a short. All right, that's a pretty good rejection there. Pretty good rejection so far. I'm starting to like that. I'm starting to like these shorts a lot right now, guys. I'm starting to like them a lot. I'm still not getting my entry yet. But the aggressive entry is up here, right? The aggressive entry has already happened right here. That's the aggressive entry. Looking to take them down. I'm still going to be a little bit more patient here just because of how volatile this price action is, just because we saw this candle. This 1 minute candle just dropped how many ticks? 300 ticks, right? Over 300 ticks in 1 minute. So that's why I'm still going to be a little bit patient. Because look, our stop loss is not, we wouldn't have a good stop loss level. Our stop loss would be at like the bottom of this whole 1 minute fair value gap. So what I would rather wait for is some more internal structure to form here, right? Because look, if I would have taken that aggressive entry, I would have already almost been stopped out. That's why I'm not being aggressive today, right? That would have been our stop right there. We would have gotten stopped out within a few seconds. That's why I'm not taking the aggressive entry right now. Look at that. Now what I really want to wait for is some more 1 minute structure to form. What does that mean? I want to see us start creating some more like 1 minute fair value gaps, or bullish fair value gaps, and then I want to start seeing some inversion. Because now, as I said before, we could very easily run through this entire bearish fair value gap. That's 300 tick fair value gap. We could very easily run through the whole thing right now. With the way price action has looked the past 2 days, I would not be surprised. All right, look at that. Look at that right there. Even after a 15-minute candle that looks like that. And this is why we just stay patient. So now we're starting to form a little bit more internal structure. If we form this 1 minute bullish fair value gap, I want to see if we're going to run through it or respect it. Are we going to run through this fair value gap and start to show us that bearish order flow here, or are we going to respect it and start pumping? We're already seeing a bounce off of it. Already seeing a bounce off that level. Okay, here we go. I want to wait and see inversion of this 1 minute, and that's when I start looking for another short. Once we get inversion of this 1 minute, I'm looking for a short. And we're looking to take it down. All right, I'd be looking to catch it down to these lows right here. We still did not inverse. We still didn't inverse, so I can't get my entry yet. I can't get my entry. As much as I want to take a short here, I just can't do that. Just can't do that yet. All right, we said this from the start. This is going to be a day that requires a lot of patience, right? We've seen it so far today. It requires a lot of patience, right? Especially after yesterday, I tried to take some more aggressive entries, got stopped out. It was not a day to be aggressive, and that's what I learned from yesterday is going into today, I'm not going to be aggressive. I'm going to be extremely conservative today. Let's see, building housing has below media office hit in Beirut. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, some crazy stuff going on right now. Okay, so there's the inversion, and now we need to see some pullback. And now we need to see pullback either into this inverse, or we need to see another 1 minute SIBI created to look for an entry. Geez, Shosky. Man, good for you, though. Good for you to be out there helping, man. That's amazing. It's devastating seeing those videos of North Carolina, man. Devastating. So now, okay, if we form a 1 minute SIBI, this is where I start looking for an entry. So I would start looking for an entry around here. Now that we got inversion, we have a 1 minute SIBI forming. I want to see us start to drop, but I want to see us pull back first. Okay, now let's pull back into the SIBI. I don't know if we're going to do that right now, but that would be nice if we can come back and give us a good entry level. But we could see us just drop to our TP right now. We might not even pull back. We will find out shortly. Don't really like the wick on the 5. Yeah, these shorts are going to step in. These shorts are going to step in and maybe not give us a chance to get involved. That's okay. Man, Tony, prayers to you. Prayers to you and everybody over there. Just insane. Yeah, I went on TikTok yesterday, and like every single video was just seeing these devastating videos of these cities completely wiped off the map. It's so sad. Yeah, exactly, right? Fair value gaps are magnets. They act like magnets. Price is magnetic to these fair value gaps. So that's why we just wait and see if the price comes back. And sometimes our fair value gaps aren't strong enough, right? They're not a strong enough magnet for price to come back, and that's just fine. We just got to keep waiting. Even if this one comes down and takes out our TP that we wanted to target, that's okay. We just got to keep waiting, right? We're already coming down for our TP level. That's our TP level that I wanted to see, right? That was the trade that I wanted to take, but we never traded into our level, so I could not take that trade, right? I just couldn't take that trade. As much as I wanted to take that short right there, I just couldn't do it. But look at that. I mean, you guys can see, yeah, we just dropped over 300 ticks from where I wanted to take my entry. So it would have been a really nice trade there, but just couldn't get involved. Could not get involved there. So here's the full-on reversal that we're seeing now. Crazy reversal. We're almost at low of day already. ES already took out low of day, so we do see some SMT here. We are in a 5-minute busy here. All right, so we expected those shorts to step back in. That's what we wanted to see there. That's what we were talking about all the way up from the 4-hour. But yeah, the volatility is pretty insane right now. All right, and I'm not going to get FOMO. I don't care. I would have loved to have taken this trade right here. I really would have. Would have been a great trade, but it wasn't because we did not tap into our level. There you go, Christian. Yeah, man, walk away with that profit. Okay, 1 minute SIBI formed here right at VWAP. We might see another short opportunity from here if we see a good reaction off of this 1 minute SIBI, and we'd be looking to catch it to low of day. The one issue is that we just bounced off a 5-minute busy, and we have SMT at the lows. That's our only issues here. But now we're going to wait and see. If we get a strong rejection off of VWAP and off this 1 minute SIBI, we might see another short opportunity here. Not enough rejection yet, but if we start to reject, I will look for a possible entry. Good rejection. Pretty solid bounce so far, not anything too crazy. Here we go. I'm waiting. I want to see us close on this candle. All right, I'm going to try an entry here. I'm going to just try an aggressive entry here, and this is going to just be a small stop loss, or not a small stop loss, but again, this one just might be one I cut real quick. Okay, I'm just going to cut it. Just a small, again, that was the risk. Now I'm going to wait for another rejection and possibly get another entry here, right? So aggressive entry there, somewhat aggressive, but I want to see these shorts start to fall. It's just the volatility that's kind of hard to trade with right now. But I do want to see these shorts start to aggressively fall here, right? So I might look for one more re-entry here. The only thing is we're so volatile, we can't really keep a good stop loss. That's the only issue here, right? The only issue. So again, tried the entry. Price moved really quick up to my stop, or up to where I wanted to have my stop, so I just sold it. I do want to look for another entry pretty soon though, because we are rejecting VWAP. We are rejecting a 1 minute SIBI. We have a strong market structure shift down to sell side. The one issue is our SMT divergence. That's it. So we might need to wait a little bit longer. We might need to wait a little bit longer for the next entry. That's okay. I'll wait. I will wait. Right? Because look, so ES comes down, it sweeps our day, or our low of day. NQ didn't sweep our low of day, so the SMT is kind of messing with us here. We did bounce off a 5 minute, busy here. But I still expect these shorts to see a strong continuation down the sell side. So again, we're starting to chop a little bit, so I'll just wait for this chop to kind of clear out. I'll wait for this chop to clear out a little bit. But these shorts look like they're trying to step back in here. You can tell this bearish order flow really wants to keep going. Really wants to keep going here, but I'm going to wait for a better entry. I'm just going to wait for a better entry. Right? We'll wait for the chop to stop. So the thing is with this, is if we do, let's say we do get another entry here, like this is a 60 tick stop. It doesn't really look very big, right? In order to have a decent stop loss, we'd have to have like a 100 tick stop. And I'm not really looking for a 100 tick stop. Maybe 70 ticks at the most with a half a lot. That's like the most I'll go. And let's see, what are we trying to target here? Well, we're looking for us to come down and grab low of day here. So it's about 300 ticks from right around the middle of this chop. But we're just chopping around, so we're going to just wait. We're just going to wait for the next one. All right, Christian. See you tomorrow, man. Good stuff today. All right, so my initial entry, just looking for that instant rejection with so much momentum going downward. I was looking for that instant rejection, looking for that short entry. You know, obviously could have been better, could have waited, but I wanted to catch that entry right as we're getting that strong rejection, so I'm fine with it. But right after we got it, we kind of started to chop around a little bit. So now I just really have to wait for better structure here. Just wait for better structure. We are forming a 5 minute SIBI above. So we could always wait for that 5 minute SIBI to form. Wait and see if we get a rejection off the 5 minute SIBI. Wait to see the rejection off that 5 minute SIBI and then look for an entry. Don't love the SMT. Let's see what's happening over on the VIX. VIX is very bullish. YM dumped again. All right, that's why I'm still expecting these shorts to step back in pretty soon. Just waiting, 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 waiting. Waiting through the chop. We got 30 seconds until this 5-minute SIBI is formed above. All right, 30 seconds until this 5-minute SIBI is formed. Right here. So now we're going to be in between a 5-minute busy, 5-minute SIBI. But I would like to see us try and come down for London low here. Right, take out both of our previous session highs and lows. All right, so 5-minute SIBI has been created above. And watch, now we're just going to start breaking out. We just got to wait. Let's see if we can pull back into that 5-minute. Looks like we might see the breakout now. We're trying to fight through this 5-minute busy right now. But it looks like these shorts are really stepping in. So even here, I'm still willing to short inside of a 5-minute busy because our bearish order flow is in control right now and we still have sell side targets. And we're in silver bullet, so I'm just going to wait for the next 1-minute fair value gap to form. If we're not going to come back up for that 5-minute SIBI, I'll wait for the next 1-minute SIBI. All right, we've been waiting. So the entry for me was the right idea, right? Just got stopped out because of how many ticks price is moving. So now I'm just going to wait for the next 1-minute SIBI to be formed, see if we can tap into it, look for another short entry down to low of day, possibly down to London low. More SMT at the lows right now, but that's to be expected. All right, so we're forming this 1-minute SIBI. All right, we're waiting for the 5-minute SIBI to be formed, and then right when it gets formed, we just dump. See how much this one keeps pushing. Strong rejection right now off the 5-minute busy, though. So I don't know if I love shorting yet. We're going to have to wait and see if we even form a fair value gap right now. And if we do, if we're going to get a strong reaction off of it. Okay, we did. But no reaction off of it yet. Looks like we might come up for that 5-minute SIBI now. So we might bounce between these, 5-minute SIBI, 5-minute busy. All right, we're coming up for that 5-minute SIBI. So just back and forth here. ES already tapped into the 5-minute SIBI. We are rejecting a 15-minute busy right now. And a 5-minute busy, so might just have to keep sitting on our hands for a little bit. Because if this is where we're going to start to reverse again, right? Like I said, today is going to be, we're expecting a range day, right? Before NFP Friday, we talked about a range day. Then this could be where we reject and come right back up for the highs. So if we're going to start to see that reversal, that's when we're looking for longs again, because it's a range day, and we're looking to take the longs right back up to the highs. All right, so no rejection on this 5-minute right now. Not yet. If we inverse this 5-minute, that's when we look for longs right back up to high a day, right? So we're just looking to trade the range right now. We're not looking to trade a breakout. We're just looking to trade the range. That's all we're looking for here. But we need to see good entry levels. I mean, look at that. Look at this volatility right now, guys. Look at this volatility. All of these candles are moving like 100 ticks. Right? So this is just something we got to really stay patient with. I know I say that a lot today, but it's the truth. So we're coming up and trying to inverse this 5-minute. This is when we start looking for longs. Right back up to the top of the range. The lowest I would expect us to go, right, because I'm not really expecting a breakout. The lowest I would expect us to go is London low. That's as low as I'd expect us to go. Come sweep that London low, maybe even previous day low. And then bounce right back up if we're going to come back down today. That's where I would expect us to go to. Either at least low, low of day today, and then maybe London low. I won't expect us to go much higher than the 50% of the 4 hour. Right? I expect us to kind of just range between these levels today. And then if we do see a breakout, then, we can look to catch the breakout, but I'm not really expecting the breakout. All right, 1 minute busy formed. Now this is when I start thinking about longs. We just inverse the 5 minute. So I might look for a long entry here. If we get a bounce here off this 1 minute, I will look for a long entry. We inverse the 5 minute. Right? We just traded back into the inverse, into a 1 minute busy. I'm gonna attempt the longs here, guys. I'm gonna attempt the longs here. I'm gonna keep a wide stop. We're gonna keep a wide stop here. I'm gonna keep it down below. Like, I'm keeping half a lot right now, so I'm keeping my stop probably like 75 ticks right now. 1999.75, which I still don't even love because it's still inside of that fair value gap. I still don't love this fair value gap or of the stop loss level because of our volatility today. And now we're not seeing the breakout happen right away, so this one might come back down for us. This is ridiculous. Yeah, this is the issue with trading today, guys. This is the issue, is we expect the breakout, right? We expect us to come up, come back to the highs, but now we're chopping around. We stop us out because I can't keep a stop loss where I'd want to keep a stop loss, right? I would want to keep a stop loss all the way down at these lows. That's where I'd want to keep it, below VWAP. But I just can't do that right now. All right, we come up, we inverse the 5 minute, we bounce off a 5 minute busy, 15 minute busy, inverse this 5 minute SIBI right here, and look how far we're pulling back. We just pulled back over 100 ticks. We just pulled back over 100 ticks, so there's not too much I can really do about that, right? When I'm expecting us to continue up in this range, we just, moved through a bunch of our key levels. There's not too much I can really do about that. All right, so I will look for one more possible entry, but again, if I get stopped out, well, then I'm just walking away. With this volatility, I'm just walking away. This price action is all over the place here. But we read those levels. My analysis told me we should keep going up and go back to the top of this range right now. All right, we got SMT at the lows. We bounce off 15 minute and 5 minute busy. We inverse a 5 minute SIBI. We inverse a bunch of 1 minute SIBIs, right? So all of my analysis tells me we should head back up. All right, so that's why I took that trade. I wouldn't have taken that trade if I didn't see all my analysis aligning up, right? So it's just one of those days right now. Just one of those days. See if we can get one more decent entry here. A conversion of this 1 minute SIBI. We just tapped below. We just traded below VWAP again. So this one might start going down. This one might start going down a little bit. We just got to keep waiting here. Just going to keep waiting to see. Let's see if we can inverse this 1 minute SIBI. Yeah, 15 minute doesn't look too hot. So, yeah, I mean, past 3 days, pretty tough days of price action. Pretty tough days of price action. It is NFP week, right? So it does make sense. It does make sense. But here's the deal, guys. Like, let's say even if I do end up red on the day, right? Even with these past 3 days, I will still only be down. Like today, let's say I do end up hitting my loss limit today, I will be down 1%. 1%, right? Because, look, Monday we had a winning day. Tuesday, I lost 2,000. Yesterday, I lost 1,100, right? So that's pretty much a break even because Monday I was a little above 3,000 in profit. So that puts me at break even yesterday. Today, even if I lose, guys, I'm not down a lot of money for me, right? Just according to my account. I'm not down bad because we still manage our risk throughout weeks like this. Even if we lose, even if we don't consistently win, I still manage my risk, so it doesn't really matter to me. It's not like I'm down $20,000 because I'm going big. I'm not full porting. I'm not going big on my trades, right? So even with losing, this is not a big deal to me because I know this is a tough week to trade. What would be the worst thing I could do for me and for you guys is start scaling up in my trading and going past my loss limit. That would be the worst possible thing I could do, and I'm never going to do that. Because I've talked about this before, when we have a few losing days in a row, what about next week? Are you going to lose all of your capital so you can't trade next week? Right? What's the point of that? No, even if I'm just down a little bit, that's cool with me. I'll be down. But for me, being down, like if I lose today, being down whatever, $2,500, $3,000 for me is not a big deal personally because of, my risk management plan. And that has to be what you are focusing on every day, no matter what. Win or lose. Win or lose. So we'll see if we get another setup. If not, I'll just wait until the afternoon to take another trade. Right? If this volatility is going to be this insane for a little while, then I'll probably just wait until prop firm session to take any other trades. Indeed, today is a donation day, that's for sure. It has been a donation day for me. Just giving them my money today. Like, hey, take my money. Take my money. I don't want this money. So if you do take anything out of this week, I hope that's what you take out of it. That even though this could be my third losing day of the week, I'm barely down on the week at all. Right? That's what truly matters. I'm not going to go on tilt because I have a few losing days in a row. Just won't do that. There's no, the only way you go on tilt is when you over leverage, right? That's how you go on tilt. If you just blew a bunch of your accounts or blew your account or just lost a bunch of money, that's when you start going on tilt because you didn't manage your risk. That's why this trading game is all risk management and psychology. That's what it is. All right, so these shorts are starting to come right back in. Not really expected here. Not really expected after inversing a bearish for value gap on the 5-minute, bouncing off some bullish for value gaps. Not my expectation, right? And that's fine. There you go, Matthew. There you go. So some things that we've expected have happened today, and a few other things that we haven't expected have happened, right? Price action has been pretty wild today. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. So let's wait and see. Let's see if we're going to get maybe one more setup here during this session. If we don't, I will just hold on to my capital and look for a trade later on once volatility maybe dies down a bit. Hey, that's amazing, Matthew. That's amazing, man. Oh, I love to see it. I love to see it. Man, that's the stuff I want to hear right there. That makes me so happy. But again, you wouldn't have been able to do it without the work you put in, right? If you didn't put in the work, you wouldn't have been able to do it. So props to you. Props to you, man. I can teach you as much as I can, but you still gotta put in that work. Okay. So now we got some bearish for value gaps above. I really just don't trust this market. I just don't trust this market right now, right? Because everything would be saying short, short, short until then we get SMT at the lows one more time. And then we're bouncing off a 5-minute busy again, right? So I just don't really trust this right now. Let's see what happens. So the 5-minute just closed, respecting the 50% again of the busy. 15-minute close, respecting the 15% again, or the 50% of the busy. All right, so both close respecting that level. We got SMT at the lows one more time. Yeah, we might need to hear some reggae, chill out a little bit. Yeah, this is that point of the day where I know for me in the past, what would happen personally is I would take 2 losses like this, right? Even if it is half a lot, I would take 2 losses. And then what I would do is I would start spamming the buy and sell button until my account was gone. That's what I used to do. Right? When I first started trading for a long time, that's what I would do. I would lose and the market would be so terrible that I would get so frustrated that I would just start hitting buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, just spamming trades until my account was completely gone. That's what I would do, guys. The worst possible thing I could do for myself. And I know some of you might struggle with the same thing or have done the same exact thing or might be doing it right now. Right? So please, please, please try to not do that. Try to work through that. What's a long time? Dude, I probably did that for like over a year. Probably did that for over a year. And just like wasted so much money doing that. So much money. I was sick of wasting money. I was sick of wasting money. And I finally realized that the only way I was going to succeed in trading was by being disciplined and by only taking my A+ setups. And I said, if I want this bad enough, I got to stop. I got to change this habit. And I realized that I wanted it bad enough, and I stopped doing that. And it would happen every once in a while, right? I would have my blow up days. Every once in a while it would happen. But the more and more you work through that, the less it happens to you, right? And then finally you get to the point where it's just a part of you where you don't do that anymore. You just got to want it bad enough, and you got to realize that that's never going to lead you to success. Ever. That will never work out. Never. Maybe you'll catch a win on a trade once or twice here or there, but that will never work out for you. Because trust me, I've tried it. I tried it, and I'm here to tell you it does not work. All right, so this is when I would expect the longs to step in once again. Once again, I would expect the longs to step in. Right, and I'd expect us to come up for some highs here. Yet again, we bounced, respecting the 50% of the 5-minute and the 15-minute busies. Strong bounce on the hourly there. We just inversed a bunch of 1-minute SIBIs again. Yeah, exactly, Elza, right? Exactly. 100%. Hey, Rob, I mean, if you can already feel that you're almost at the end of that, that's good. That's a good feeling to have. That's when you know you're really working through it. especially if you're profitable on the year. That means you know that the success is there. You're seeing consistency. Right, so this is where I would expect the longs to come in again, but with this price action, who knows if they're actually going to come back in. We're just kind of seeing some seek and destroy here. But I would want to see the longs come back in up to this high based off of my analysis today, but you guys know our analysis today is kind of tough. So this is where I would want to see the bounce, and I'd want to start looking for another long. We're right around VWAP, right? I want to see these longs step back in from here. We have a 2-minute below us. Hey, there you go, Rob. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. That is progress right there. That's real progress. You know, hopefully soon enough, you make back all of that loss from last year's trading, right? However long that takes. You know, if you are up on the year, that's already consistency. That's already a huge improvement from last year. And that's why I always say don't really focus on the money, because at the end of the day, if you focused on only making your 12K loss back from last year, you wouldn't really be trading too well. But it seems like to me you're focusing on just being consistent, right? And then the money follows. The money will follow as long as you're staying consistent. Exactly. That's a good way to put it. First you lose money, then you learn how to not lose money, and then you make money. That's exactly how it goes. 100%. So like I said, these longs are stepping in, right? I just have not really trusted this market, but those are the longs that I was expecting, that we just called out. And now, of course, they're going to our TP. That's just how today goes, right? When I don't really trust the market, it makes me a little less likely to jump into a trade. But analysis on point here, so now we'll see if we get a continuation up to more highs. Just pull pork. Pull pork. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Yeah, and like I always say, guys, hanging on to your capital protecting your capital is the number one thing in trading. That's really the most important thing of all. Protecting your capital. If you can hold on to your capital, you know, like Rob, right? He said he's good with being at around break even because he hung on to his capital for an entire year of trading. That is impressive right there. That's impressive, right? Because, and then what C Breezy said, you're going to lose money first, and then you're going to learn not to lose money, and that's what Rob's doing right now. He's in the process of that, right? Learning not to lose money. And then after that, boom, that's when you start making your money. That's when you start making your money. Okay, so these longs look like they want to keep going. Let's see, we just took out that high. That was that TP level I was looking for if I was going to get into that trade, but I just don't really trust the market too much right now. We did just tap into another 1 minute busy here. Let's see if now we're going to start to reverse again back to the lows, or if we're going to see continuation. We have this huge imbalance right here. Remember that big candle we had? Big imbalance. Right, this is where we wanted to short from first. I tried to get in the shorts from here, right? But you saw this was like a 300 tick candle, so price manipulated all the way up and then came back down. All right, so just kind of the way it's going today. Right, even when we have the right idea, we're just not really seeing that follow through, or you know, we're seeing a lot of manipulation before the follow through. That's a good idea, Shanquez. There you go, man. Saved yourself from going on tilt. That's what it's all about. You start to realize those emotions and you know when to walk away. That's what it's all about right there. Right, so like if I, let's say tomorrow, let's just say for instance tomorrow I don't trade, or maybe I take another loss, just for an example, right? Let's say I'm red on the week. Even if I'm red on the week, next week I could make all of my losses back from this whole week in one day, or even in one trade. That's why I don't stress about losing. I used to stress about losing because I knew when I lost I would lose way too much money. Now I don't stress about losing because I know when I lose it's going to be a minimal amount that I'm already willing to risk. Every single day I know what I'm willing to risk, so I don't worry about losing it. I never worry about losing. It's just a part of the game. Right? When the markets are like this, they're hard to trade. I'm not a perfect trader. I'm going to take my losses here and there, right? It's just a part of it. Hey, well, yep. At least you are aware of that, camper investor. At least you're aware that you're starting to go on tilt a little bit, and at least you can walk away a little bit positive. That's good. Very positive. Yeah, that would be my advice to you. If you feel yourself going on tilt right now, just walk away. Just walk away. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Tomorrow's a new day. Next week's a new week. Just hold on to that capital. Tomorrow might be a little bit crazy as well, right? Because we have NFP. But I would expect more of a trend day tomorrow compared to a range day, right? So it might be a little bit better. It's still going to be very volatile, though. It'll be pretty volatile, but I expect more of a trend day. Typically, that's what we see when we have big news like NFP, big data releases. We'll see a lot of volatility, but it'll be more trend. It'll be more of a breakout. It won't be like today where we see a bunch of seek and destroy and we see a range. This is what we typically see leading up to a big news event. We've seen it pretty much this whole week. Yeah, exactly, Sean Quez. That's the issue, right? You see the setup, and then price runs away, and then you get tempted to chase it. And then it comes right back on you and stops you out. Or it finally comes back into your level, and then it just runs right through that level without respecting it. Yeah, 100%, Rob. I think that's very important. Very important. I completely agree. Yeah, I think it's pretty bad if you hop onto if you hop onto someone's live stream and they're taking like 10 trades within 10 minutes. That's not really going to teach you the right mindset, the right habits, the right trading, right? And this is the way that I trade, right? This is the way that I trade no matter what. No matter what, this is how I trade. Right, so for me, this is just normal trading. Even if I am on a live stream, this is normal trading. So we just tapped back in. So what I think I'm going to have to do, guys, I think what everybody should do is probably just take a break. I do have a little bit more room to trade if I want to. Probably one more trade. But what I would say is we take a break and maybe save our capital for later, maybe like, during lunch hour if there's a good setup, or during prop firm session if there's a good setup. Once price action maybe gets a little less volatile. That's what I would kind of say. That would probably be the best way to go about the rest of the day. Right? That would be my advice. Yeah, 100% AZ Sunshine. That's something you can add to your personal trading plan, right? 100%. We could talk more about that too in the mentorship. We can kind of cover that. So, yeah, guys, again, whatever you do today, do not go on tilt. And if you find yourself going on tilt and slamming the buy and sell button constantly, whatever you can do, whatever you can, any habit that you can form to start getting away from that, to just walk away, close your computer and just leave the house, right? Leave your apartment, leave wherever you're at. Close the computer and just walk away. It's not worth it right now. It is not worth it to blow all of your money so that come Monday you don't have any, you have to start again from scratch, right? Or you just lost a bunch of your money for no reason. So just try not to do that today. Do not revenge trade, exactly. Revenge trading never helped anybody. Never got anybody anywhere, except for further in the red. So, all right, guys, that's what I'm going to do. Personally, I'm going to take a break. Yeah, it's just one of those weeks. But here's the thing, guys. I'm only down $2,000 on the entire week right now. And that might sound like a lot for certain people that don't have as much capital maybe, or are trading with less. But for me, that is not much, right? I'm keeping my losses to a minimum this week. Because on some of my best weeks, it is like, quadruple and 5 times, 10 times what that loss is, right? That's what truly matters, and that's what I hope you take away from this, is you should have that same mindset. Even on a bad week of trading, like this week, I'm still down such a little amount compared to my winning weeks, right? So that's what I hope you take away from this session. I hope you don't walk away from the session with a terrible mindset, thinking negatively about your trading. Just don't have that emotion, or try to fight against that, and realize what you should really focus on is, what did you do good today? Did you focus on your risk management today? Cool. If you did good, focus on that and build on that. If you did bad, focus on that and correct that, right? So that's what I'll leave you with. Appreciate all of you. I see the progress every single day with you guys. Win or lose, I'm seeing your guys' progress, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So we're going to continue to work on that every single day. All right, every single day we're going to keep working on that. So you guys stay safe. I'll see my mentorship students in about an hour, and then I'll see the rest of you guys for our prop firm session. And don't forget, John has a psychology at 10 Pacific, I think, right? 10 a.m. Pacific. So definitely, this is one of those days you might really want to tune into John's session, guys. This is one of those days you might really want to tune into his session. I think every single day you should tune in, but this is one of those days where it's hard and you might really need that advice. So I will talk to you guys very soon. Love you all. God bless. Peace out.